Hello everyone, this is Carmen and welcome back to my channel and to another Cantonese grammar video lesson. Last time I talked to you all about the usage of 過 to compare two items. Today I'm going to teach you about elliptical comparisons using di, joeng, and gung-ga. Let's begin by talking about what we mean by elliptical comparisons. Elliptical comparisons are made possible by omitting the compared item when it's understood from context. This relies on context to fill in the missing information. The beauty of elliptical comparisons is that repetition is minimized, making daily conversation and interaction more fluid, allowing us to avoid redundancy while enhancing the impact of the comparisons. This means that the listener is expected to be able to infer the meaning based on prior knowledge or the conversational context. We will begin by looking at di. Di is used to indicate a slight increase of the quality of a certain adjective, meaning something along the lines of a bit more or somewhat more in English. It is used when the difference is slightly or moderately more, and as aforementioned, one of the items being compared should be obvious based on the conversational context, meaning it does not need to be explicitly mentioned. Here is how you would incorporate di into a sentence. You begin with a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase, basically anything representing an entity of some sort, followed by an adjective, and di is affixed to the end. This is equivalent to saying noun, pronoun, noun phrase is slightly more adjective in English. Here are some example sentences. 你同佢之間，佢高啲。Between you and him, he is taller. 呢架車快啲。This car is faster. 佢係我家姐，我細啲。She is my older sister, I'm younger. Now the word 細 usually means small or little, but when you're talking about people using the word 細, it can also mean young. 呢件衫太貴，嗰件平啲。This shirt is too expensive. That one is cheaper. 尋日好凍。今日暖啲。Yesterday was so cold. Today's warmer. Notice that di comes after the adjective like a suffix, and more importantly, you do not need to add the noun being compared to the end, as it is understood from the part before. This is the context. joeng is another example of a word used in elliptical comparisons. It is used to emphasize an even greater degree, meaning something along the lines of even more. Note, it is used when the difference in the quality of the adjective is even greater. Once again, the item being compared can be, or should be, understood from context, so you do not need to explicitly mention it. Here is the structure for joeng. Pay attention to the structure of sentences incorporating joeng. It is slightly different to when di is used. You begin with the first item, which is always a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase, followed by joeng, and then the adjective. So instead of it being a suffix, it is a prefix, coming before the adjective instead. And it means something like noun, pronoun, or noun phrase, even more adjective in English. Here are some example sentences. 佢高過我，佢細佬仲高。He is taller than me, and his younger brother is even taller. 呢架車快過嗰架，呢架仲快。This car is faster than that one, and this one is even faster. 呢件衫平過嗰件，呢件仲平。This shirt is cheaper than that one, and this one is even cheaper. 今日暖過尋日，聽日仲暖。Today is warmer than yesterday, and tomorrow will be even warmer. Once again, draw your attention to the position of joeng in these sentences and how the items are being compared. Lastly, we're going to look at gung-ga. This means something very similar to joeng, in that it expresses a greater difference. But unlike joeng, gung-ga expresses an even greater degree or intensity, something like significantly or much more. This is used to highlight a significant increase or an even higher level of comparison. Gung-ga is also used in Mandarin as well, so it is part of more standard Chinese usage. Meanwhile, di and joeng are more colloquial and is used only in Cantonese. And of course, like the previous two, because gung-ga is also an elliptical comparison, the item being compared is understood from context and therefore you do not need to mention it. The structure for using gung-ga is more or less the same as joeng. So it's like this. Noun, pronoun or noun phrase comes first, followed by gung-ga as a prefix, and then the adjective at the end. In English, it means something like noun, pronoun or noun phrase, much more, adjective. Here are some example sentences. 佢高過我，佢細佬更加高。He is taller than me, and his younger brother is much taller. 呢架車快過嗰架，呢架更加快。This car is faster than that one, and this one is much faster. 呢件衫平過嗰件，呢件更加平。This shirt is cheaper than that one, and this one is much cheaper. 今日暖過尋日，聽日更加暖。Today is warmer than yesterday, and tomorrow will be much warmer. Once again, notice the placement of gung-ga and the absence of repeating the item being compared. To wrap up, here are a few points to take away. Di, joeng, and gung-ga are used in elliptical comparisons, meaning the item being compared should be obvious based on context. Hence, you do not need to explicitly mention it when you are doing the comparison. The structure of these sentences are slightly different. Di acts as a suffix and comes right after the adjective. Meanwhile, joeng and gung-ga acts as prefixes and comes right before the adjective. Furthermore, joeng and gung-ga may have similar meanings, but there is a slight subtle difference. And that brings us to the end of this video. Now, elliptical comparisons are not a new concept, as we also have this in English, where one item is mentioned and the other item, the one being compared, is implied through context. Mastering this helps you elevate your Cantonese and allows you to produce more natural language. I hope you learned something new. If you did, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below if you have any questions or if you have anything else you would like to learn. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!